Welcome to Zoom Online Learning with Huey Poplock. Today's lesson is going to be how to set up registration for your meetings. There are several ways to set up a Zoom meeting. In order to accomplish setting up registration within Zoom, we really need to go to the website, would be the zoom.us. Once we go to the zoom.us website, we're going to sign in with our email address and password, and then click sign in. We're then going to go to the meetings area and schedule a new meeting. You could click up at the top as well. We need to have a topic for the meeting. We're choosing Huey's Zoom instructions. We're going to leave the description blank. We're not going to use the template now, but we are going to talk about templates a little bit later. We're going to change the date or time. We're going to leave the date. We're going to change the time. And you could do it for whatever time you want the meeting to be. As far as duration goes, it doesn't matter what you put in there. As long as the meeting's going to run, that's what it's going to be. The next section, though, is the important one. That's the registration. It's by default not required. We're going to require it by checking the little box. We're going to use the defaults for the rest. They may not be what you want, or you want to double check and make sure that they are all of the things that you want to have. I generally don't enable to join before host. That's a security issue. I like to have the participants muted upon entry so there's not a lot of noise when they come in. And I definitely want to enable the waiting room. And then we save it. Now, an alternate way to set up a meeting would be to click the Zoom application if you're running on a PC or a Mac. And when you click the application, you will get this box and you're going to sign in. Now this is doing it over the other, just don't pay attention to what's underneath it. So we sign in the same as we did when we went to the website. And you'll get the application. You'll have new meeting, join, schedule, and share screen. When you click on schedule a meeting, you will notice almost all of the items we just set up for this meeting are there, except there's nothing there about the registration. So we need to actually go to the website, the zoom.us website, and create our meeting there and not through the application to use the registration process. So we'll close that out and we'll close this out. Now we're going to click on the link just to see what happens if we click on the registration link. Notice it doesn't say meeting link, it's registration link. When we click it, it will take us to registration blank for the attendees to put their information in, but more about that later. As we scroll down, we'll see a section that we didn't see before, where we have the registration, email settings, branding, and live streaming. Under the registration, you'll see there's manage attendees, and the registrants obviously is 0. And you can view or go to information about that. And then the registration options, we can edit. When we do that, we get first the approval. There's automatically approve, where registrants will automatically receive information on how to join the meeting, or manually approve. And the organizer must approve registrants before they receive information on how to join the meeting. But that means the organizer will have to approve each one individually. Where if you automatically do it, they'll automatically get the link to the meeting and you don't have to be involved in it. If you would like a notification sent to you if you're the host, every time somebody registers, you'll get an email that they registered. Not a problem if there's 5 or 10, but when you've got 80 or 100 people or more, you're going to get that many emails saying they registered. So you may or may not want to have that. And then other options, you want to close the registration after the event date. I think that's probably a good idea. Allow attendees to join from multiple devices. That means if they want to join from the phone and their computer, they could. And do you want them to show social share buttons on registration page? You may or may not want that, where it can also go to a Facebook or another social media page. You save your choices, and it takes you back to this page. Again, you can edit. You can go in and we did the registration. How about the questions next? It gives you some additional questions that you can add to the form just by clicking one of the boxes, and that will automatically become one of the fields in the form. If you want it to be required, you just click the little box to the right, and that will then, they have to put something in that choice in the registration form. So you might want to have the state, you might want to have the city where they are. So if you've decided which ones you want, okay, we've decided to require those. Once you've settled on those, you can save all. Now we're going to go back down there and we're going to click again on the edit. And this time we're going to go to the custom questions. This is where you can create your own questions. There are short answers and there's single answer. Single answer would be a multiple choice. And you can make it required or not required, and you type in your own question. We're going to ask, are you a member of STUG? And we're going to create the question. We've got it marked as required. We can delete it if we decide we don't like it, or we could change to a single answer type question. The same question, but this time we're going to give them a multiple choice and they have to choose one of them. First one will be yes and then no. Another choice might be my membership expired. Going to click on add another choice. And I belong to another user group. And we're going to use those as our choices. Obviously, you wouldn't have the same question twice. We're doing that as an example. Under branding, you can have a banner, and it gives you directions on what the size should be. It can be anywhere from 640 by 200 to 1280 by 400, and you have to upload the picture. We have one ready. We have a banner ready, and we're going to put this as the banner. Now, for the logo, your logo is displayed on the right side of the meeting topic for your invitation page and registration page. and in the email invitation to the meeting. So we're going to upload one. It needs to be a JPEG, either 200 by 200 or 400 by 400 maximum. We've got one ready here. It's 248 by 248. We'll click on it. And we're going to accept it just by having it there. For live streaming, we're not going to be doing anything with that right now. Now when we click on the registration form, you'll see the logo, the banner at the top, the logo to the right, and then the questions that we asked. First name, last name, email address, remember, and confirm email address are standard. The city and state were ones that we chose from the long list. And then when we click on it, it actually gives us a choice there of all of the states. Are you a member of STUG? That's the one where you type in your answer, and then the multiple choice is, are you a member of STUG? You can choose yes, no, my membership is expired, or I belong to another user group, whichever the attendee fits the attendee. When they click it, it's the answer that's saved, and then when they click on register, it will go there. Now, to invite somebody, you click on the copy the invitation. The information is there. It gives you the register in advance for this meeting. So it will steer the possible attendee to the registration form. And then after registering, you will receive confirmation email containing information about joining the meeting. And again, that can be automatic or it can be manual, whatever you have chosen. Now, if you wanted to save this as a meeting template, you would click there. You give it a name and save as a template. That means you can use that template if you're going to do another meeting and use the same basically the same information. You've got everything filled in. In other words, the form is set up. The information is there. You just have to change the date, the time, double check everything, and then use the template. Under the email settings, you can change the email contact, or you can send a test email. This is what the confirmation email will look like. You can edit that, make changes in the subject, in the body. You can add some information in the description. And then notice that there's an add to calendar, add to Google Calendar, add to Yahoo Calendar. That's there automatically. If you didn't want that, you can take it out, but I would suggest leaving it in. And then for phone, iPhone, or telephone access, the numbers are listed below. Again, if that's something that you do not want to have for your meeting, you can just take that out of the invitation. The calendars will automatically add it to an Outlook calendar, or Google Calendar, or Yahoo Calendar. When the attendee gets the invitation, when they click it, it will automatically add all of the information, pertinent information, to their calendar. So it's good to put in some type of description in the registration form, in the response that they're going to get, and this will be a great learning experience for you, is what I typed in. And so when it's sent, that will be in there. You can change the address for the email. That's the contact information that attendees can use if they have questions about the meeting. So if you don't want your regular email address, you can put something else in there. We're going to copy and paste the registration link into a browser. We're going to fill out the form with a fictitious name. By the way, if you capitalize on one of the email addresses, it will not confirm if you didn't do it on both. So it has to be all lowercase, or the case has to match in both the email address and the confirm email address. You have to answer all of the questions. Don't forget the asterisk indicates that it's a required answer. And then when you click register, you will get a registration form. If the registration was automatic, then you will get a link to the meeting. If it was not automatic, then you will get a different registration form. Now we're going to go look at Gmail and see what the message looks like. And we go to and open up the confirmation, and there it is. As we scroll down, you'll see the information is all there. There is a link. It says click here to join, and that has the long invitation already there in a very short form. And it also includes the password in case they just get to the website, and it asks them for that. You'll also notice the add calendar, add to Google Calendar, and add to the Yahoo Calendar. And by clicking there, it'll automatically put the information in each of those or any of those calendars. Let's take a look at our meeting registration list and see who's registered. We'll go to the meeting, we'll click on it, then we'll scroll all the way to the bottom, and we'll find where it says Manage Attendees. We see that there are 4 registrants so far. Click View, and there is our list. You'll notice down towards the bottom, it's got a previous. First, we can cancel or resend a confirmation email to any or all of them. We can one click, and it will list. It'll check all of them, or you can do them individually. Down at the bottom, if there are multiple pages, you'll see you can go to the previous and next, and you'll have numbers there. We can also, if we uncheck that, we can just send to an individual or 2 or 3 individuals to resend their confirmation or to cancel them. If you click on their name, it'll show us all of the information that they filled out when they filled out the registration form. And you can also search if you've got a long list. When you close it out, it takes you back to your meeting information. We want a list of everyone who registered for the meeting. What we're going to do is we're going to come down to Account Management, click on Reports. We're going to then find Meeting, and it'll give a list of our meetings in a certain time period. Make sure you're within the time period. Find the meeting you want and tell it to generate a report. You can do all registrants, just the approved ones, just the denied one. But if you do all registrants, it'll have all those that were approved and so on. Then go over to the report queue, because you've generated the report now. Now you want to download it. So you find the particular meeting that you want, and you may have 2 or 3 from the same meeting because you've done this different times. Click the download. When you do download, it will download a CSV, or a comma separated value list. And because my computer has Excel installed on it, when it sees a CSV file, it will open it in Excel. You could get it as a text file with the comma separated, or if you have another spreadsheet, bring it into that spreadsheet as well. When it opens up the Excel spreadsheet, you'll have the list of everyone who was registered at the time at which you produced the report. Remember, you have to produce the report and then generate it and then download it. You can save this and then produce another one, save it, and then print it out, and you've got your complete list of everyone who was registered at the time you generated the report. Again, once you generate your list and then download it, it's a CSV file. The top is the CSV file in Notepad, and the bottom is opening that same file using Excel. One of the major benefits of using registration for your meeting is the report you get from the meeting. Now, we've been working with a fake meeting, so let's go to a real meeting so we can see what information we get. And we go to Account Management, Reports. This time we're going to go to Active Hosts. We're going to review meetings, participants, and meeting minutes within a specified time range. Within a specified time range is very important, because as we look at this list, there's nothing listed there. We have to go back a few days because the meeting was earlier in the week, and we put in some dates, and then we do a search, and we'll find a couple of meetings. The meeting that we want to look at is the discussion to test registrations, and because the screen is a little bit wider, or the information is a little bit wider than the screen, we do have to scroll over a little bit. But under participants, you'll notice that the number of participants is there, and it's in blue. It means it's a link. So when we click it, we get the meeting participants. You'll notice there's 2 boxes there. Export with meeting data and show unique users. When we do the export with meeting data, you'll see that a lot of the names are there twice. And I believe that's because it's showing the time in which they were in the waiting room and then the time that they're in the meeting. And so when we go back to the top, when we click unique users, it combines the 2 so you don't have their names twice. Then you're going to export that information into a format that you can save and go through. And when you click export, it's saving it as a comma separated value file, or a CSV file. And again, when we click on it, it opens it in Excel on my machine. And then if you're familiar with the spreadsheet, you can just click and widen your columns so you can see the meeting ID information, then the names, the user, their email, the total minutes that they were on, and some other information about the meeting. and then you can print that out and you have a report of all of the attendees and people that were at your meeting with their emails that you can send them more information and thank them for attending. You'll notice one of them is a phone number, and they were only on for 2 minutes. They didn't stay in the meeting. In this example, we didn't save the information, but if you did, you would then have a full report. I'm Huey Poplock, and I hope you have learned how to set up registration for your meetings on Zoom. If you have any questions, contact me, or you can leave a comment or question on the YouTube channel. Again, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you in the next video.